Golf Club. This is the new weekly series that we're going to be doing of online golf lessons to help you guys with your golf games. Starting this week, we're going to start short and simple with chipping. Most golfers, what we notice when we're teaching lessons here is around the green, their objective is to pop the ball up into the air. That's the point of a chip. You want to get the ball elevated. But the way the majority of golfers do it that we see is they'll end up with their weight on their back foot and their hands behind the ball, trying to perform kind of a scooping method, trying to lift the ball up. What I'd like to show you is a quick tip that's really simple and will be much more effective in getting the ball elevated around the green. And it's actually the opposite of what you'd think. When you're hitting a chip, what you want is actually your weight on your forward foot, about 85 to 90%, so the majority of your weight over here. And the other thing is to actually get your hands on this side of the golf ball, ahead of the ball. So when you do that, and you do a nice firm stroke, what you notice is the golf club making a downward strike into the ground. So, as I perform that here, my weight is on my front foot, my hands are towards the target, so ahead of the golf ball, and I do a nice short firm stroke, pops the ball up into the air. It's the downward strike that gets the ball elevated, not the scooping method. So that will really help you with your chips. Weight on this side, hands ahead, short firm stroke creates a downward strike. That was using a 56 degree. Now there's other methods of chipping that you can change clubs and essentially use the same setup though. So I go to my 7-iron, weights over here, my hands are ahead, same stroke, although this time, using a 7-iron, the ball comes out a lot lower on the ground. This can be used when you're right next to the green and you have a lot of green to work with, so you don't need to elevate the ball very much. I'd use my sand wedge if I have, say, a bunker to carry or grass to go over. But if you're right next to the green, and you've got a lot of green to work with, you can come out with the ball a lot lower using, say, a 7 or an 8-iron, and consistency-wise, you're going to be much more effective there. Although it's the same setup and everything, with your weight here and your hands ahead, same stroke, your consistency is going to go up using a 7-iron for those type of shots. So if you have to carry rough or a bunker, use a higher lofted club. But if you're right next to the green and have a lot of green to work with, go to a lower lofted club like a 7 or an 8-iron. The third shot we'd like to show you here, this is called a flop shot. And it's slightly different setup when you're using a flop shot. What you're going to do, this is my 60-degree wedge. It's got a lot of loft, but if I actually turn that and open it even more, this is going to increase the loft of the club. So I get around the green here, you turn the club so it's lofted even higher, and then grip it. And then same setup, my weight's here and my hands are ahead. Although with this stroke, the flop shot, what you want to do is actually involve the wrists a little bit. So you're lifting the club with your wrists, popping it into the ground at impact and through. And one thing you can think of when hitting a flop shot is that you want to keep the grip of the club through impact close to your left leg. So you're essentially flipping your hands through, and you notice the grip stays close to my left leg. So when I'm hitting that shot, I've got the open club face, and I'm going to flip my hands through so that grip stays close to my left leg. What that does is almost pop the ball up straight into the air. So this could come in handy when you're right around the green, but you don't have much green to work with, and say you have to carry some grass or, like I said earlier, a bunker. But if you don't have much green to work with, you need that ball landing softly and stopping sooner. So this can help you around the green, and it's not as hard as many people would think. It's just simply turning the club face to increase the loft, and like I said, when you come through impact, you're kind of flipping your wrist so your grip, stays close to your left leg. So I'll perform it again here. So you might not be able to see, but that ball is going up, landing, and maybe only rolling a couple of feet. So those are 3 shots that can really help you around the green. Now, to review quick, like I said, most golfers, they get on their back leg, they get their hands behind, trying to scoop the ball up. When you're chipping, focus your weight on your left side or your lead leg. Get your hands ahead of the ball and allow your hands to lead that club through. Just a short and tight stroke. That creates that downward motion, and that's what will pop the ball into the air. You can use that with a sand wedge to get loft. You can use it with a 7 or 8 iron when you want to perform a bump and run. If you've got lots of green to work with and want to hit it lower. And then the 3rd shot I mentioned was the flop shot. So you turn the club face, you're increasing the loft, and as you come through impact, you want to involve the wrists and then flick them through so that grip is staying close to your left side. That will pop the ball up into the air or go right underneath it sometimes. I hope this helps you guys, and if you need any help with your golf game, come see myself or the other professionals at Blume.